Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. What's up everybody? Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing another Born of the Gods Swiss draft. And we've opened Mogus, who I am going to take. I like it. I'm sure he's worth some tickets, and he's a god, so he does some work. What else is in here that's good? By the way, I'm right in the middle of a tremendously bad blizzard right now in Minnesota. So I just got my power back, thankfully, because otherwise I was probably going to freeze to death inside of my house. So got power back, and we're drafting. Of course, prioritizing Magic Online comes first. So anyway, Mogus, Mischief and Mayhem's good, Ghostblade's good. This guy seems good. A little bit pricey, though. Rise is good. A lot of good cards in here, I think, but we're just going to go with the God. Not necessarily force it, but if it works, it works. Alright, we've got an Eidolon here who makes stuff unblockable. I like that a lot. He's also a 2-drop that's unblockable. Otherwise, we have Pillar of War, which I think is probably playable. I don't know if he's worthy of a second pick. Maybe just so I can stay on point with Mogus. Otherwise, Reckless Reveler is fine, but also an unexciting second pick. Grave Robber Spider is legitimately good, but do I want to go for a Jund deck? Not really. Swordwise Centaur is a solid 2-drop. I think if I was going to take anything not these colors, I'd probably just take the Flitterstep Eidolon. I think this card's actually really good. Making something unblockable surprise like that I think is huge, and just enchanting him and making him big I think is really good. So I think I'm gonna take him just because the Reckless Reveler seems so unexciting, and there's only one other black pick in here. So let's take the Eidolon. See what that does for us. Okay. Impetuous Sun Chaser is in fact a card. God-Favored General seems really good if you can resolve that on turn 2, of course. Seems like a good target for Flitterstep Eidolon. I've been meaning to make an inspired deck of some sort. I'm wondering if a Crowan Skyguard just isn't better. Obviously this guy makes an army, but this guy gets huge and is evasive, so I'm actually debating whether the Skyguard's in fact better than the God-Favored General. The God-Favored General is going to be much better if I start making a deck that's solely built around Inspired, which is possible. Just need a bunch of untapped stuff. But I gotta admit, I'm a little more tempted to take the Skyguard. This is uncommon, though. I guess we'll take the God-Favored General. Maybe I can make some sort of weirdo Inspired deck. Maybe that happens. Who knows? Alright, next pick, we've got, what, a Vortex Elemental? I actually thought that guy was kind of cool. He's not exactly what I like to do in this format, though. I mean, he's okay. He's a 1-drop that does things. Skirmisher, who's elite. I actually like the elite Skirmisher quite a bit. Much more than I like the Oresco's Sun Guide. This is basically an arena athlete for white, which I do like. So, I guess we can take the Skirmisher. Let's try it. I've been meaning to try this guy out. Feeling fairly confident that he is very good. Okay. Choices now. We've got Meletus Astronomer, who currently finds Eidolon and Mogus, but it looks like Mogus is rapidly becoming not what we're going to be doing. Do I dare go back to my old original just because I love it so much? Could be. Then maybe I can splash for Mogus, but splashing for him seems pretty awkward. Excoriate's fine. I don't really like it all that much for this style of aggression that I'm trying to do. Typically, I'm the one that likes to attack in, so their guys being tapped seems unrealistic. So it's either Rise of the Challenge or Reap What Is Sown. And I think I'm just going to take the Rise to the challenge. I do like Reap What Is Sown, though. But I think I'm just going to take that instead. Alright, so now we've got the Skirmisher or a Sky Guard. I think we want the Sky Guard. We already passed one for the God-Favored General, so I dare not do a second one. These are the most important cards to get for the style of deck I like to do. Wow. Well, the good news is we're getting hooked up with white, so I can't complain about that at all. Epiphany Storm would be very cool with the God-Favored General. That's some sweet synergies. But let's go ahead and slam the little Vanguard of Brimaz. See if I don't regret that. Alright, Dawn to Dusk. I still stand behind this card's good, but just not for the deck that I want to do. Course of the Tides is fine. Let's take the Sun Guide, just get another 2-drop sweet white card. I mean, Nyxborn Triton is pretty playable. Cyclops of One-Eyed Pass I could see being pretty good with the Eidolon. But we're either blue or red. Flitter Step is definitely better than Rise to the Challenge, so I guess we can just go ahead and take the Bestow guy. Revoke Existence is definitely main deckable too. I might just want to slam this because there's so many. Because there's still a chance I go into red too. I'm going to take the Revoke. I mean, this card is so playable in this format. It's not as exciting in probably any other format, you know, barring like Mirrodin and Scars of Mirrodin. But in this format, I mean, this just does so much work. Okay. Hold Up A is pretty lackluster combat trick. Deepwater Hypnotist seems like a fine 2-drop, especially when you're trying to be aggressive. So I think we're just going to go ahead and take that. Wait, what does this do? Oh, I actually like Crypsis, but I'm still fine with the Deepwater Hypnotist. Wow. Alright. Well, that's incredible. This card should never table, but it did. So, great news for us. We're in white, and we want to be. We're going to take the Dream Finder here. Are we playing like mono white? What are we doing? I don't know. If white is as open in these next 2 packs as it has been here, I'm going to feel really good. Black picks at the end here is kind of a good sign too. And Great Heart. He's got a Great Heart on him. Sorry, a little LSV humor for you there. Alright, let's go to pack 2. Okay, options. Well, we have Anger the Gods, which if we're in red is good, but we're going to do the Phalanx Leader. No real reason this time. I'm going to check the price on Anger the Gods, but I can almost guarantee you that it's around 1 ticket. I'm guessing foil Anger of the Gods, as a matter of fact. Well, someone's buying it for 1, so I imagine Anger of the Gods not being worth that much. I swear one just said buying it for 0. That's not a good sign. Let's take the Phalanx Leader. This guy is bonkers. Almost wish I'd taken Reap What Is Sown now with the sheer amount of heroic guys we got. Maybe we wheel the Battle-Wise Valor. That'd be fantastic. Anger is quite good, especially if I end up red. But Phalanx Leader is just so in line with what we're doing. And even though we wheeled a Crone Skyguard in the first pack, I'm not guaranteed to wheel the Phalanx Leader. So I'm just going to slam it. Wow, foil Temple of Silence. That's got to be worth something, right? Wait, there's Thoughtseize in here too? I'm so mind blown right now. What is a foil Temple of Silence worth? Not anything, but Thoughtseize on the other hand worth 4.5. So happily take it. Otherwise, Snarecaster is the pick, or perhaps God's Willing to trigger a heroic. We're actually short on stuff to trigger our heroic currently. So I'm going to have to get it together on that. But we're going to happily take Thoughtseize. Who knows, maybe we do some sort of black-white thing. Not sure yet. Tickets I do like, though. I am a big fan of tickets. Alright, Wave Crash Triton's bonkers. So could just take that and start actively moving into blue-white. Otherwise, Traveling Philosopher is fine. It's a 2-drop. I just think Wavecrash Triton is so much better that I think we want to do that instead. Why don't we cut stuff I'm probably not playing? Whoops. Probably not doing this. Probably not doing this. So, not doing our rare or mythic, sadly. Not doing that guy. Presumably not doing the Dreamfinder, but he's still fine. And if I take this Triton, we're not going to be in red. So, I can live with that. Let's take the Triton. Okay, now we've got some good options. We can do Snarecaster, get another 2-drop creature. We can take the Fate Foretold, which is quite good. Snarecasters are important for this style of deck. So is Fate Foretold, I suppose, with all the heroic. I feel like the creatures are the priority first, though, and then you can really just play any sort of aura or instant or sorcery later. But I will admit that we just appear to have a bunch of creatures right now. So maybe that is indicating I should go for Fate Foretold. But, I mean, just Snarecaster does seem so important for what we're trying to do. Like, you can really go infinite with these two with the amount of creatures we got. Especially when you consider failing, doing like a turn 2 God-Favored General into a turn 3 Snarecaster. Yeah, that's too good to pass up. That's just too good, I think. Oh, and now we're seeing some sick red. Is that right? Well, there's no white in here and no blue, so I guess we'll take the pick that we would want the most, which is the Titan Strength. Arena Athlete as well, but Strength. Why don't we show all again? Okay. Let's see. Some black cards. I mean, Scholar is a good win con if I'm black-white. Could be black-white splash red for Titan Strength Rise and Mogus, but seems really awkward. Seems like you're never going to get Mogus online. And he's a lot less exciting as just a dude who deals 2 or makes him sack. Tough pick here. I think we're just going to go with the Ordeal, just in case I end up in black for some reason. There is some black coming around now. Also red, because Ill-Tempered Cyclops is good. I don't really like War Chanter all that much, so probably not. Would prefer to not play him. Probably not doing the... I'm either doing blue or I'm doing... Alright, we're gonna go with blue. I had originally wanted that, and I just think we need to stick to our guns on this one. So let's stick with the blue, and that way we can take the Aqueous Form here, which is quite good in this deck. Breaching Hippocamp's also fine with God-Favored General. But let's take the Aqueous Form. We have all the heroic guys, so I could see that being real good. Tessin Battle Priest is a human. It's a card. It's not exciting, but nothing else in here really is for us anyway. Let's see. I mean, Crackling Triton is playable. And there's nothing else for us, really. Okay. Prussian Chimera is fine. Ooh, got the Snarecaster, though. I do like Chimera, but we're going to take Snarecaster, just much more important for this deck. Witch's Eye, amazing with our... I mean, that literally is 2 dudes a turn, but the Snarecaster also with the General, I think, is going to be sick. So let's do that instead. Alright, and we get a Philosopher too. That's cool. So at least the good news is we're doing the style of deck that I always want to do. So that is the good news. This guy's not that good though. What's the bad news? There's not really any bad news. I guess the bad news is that our white, while our white is superb, we're a little bit lacking on the heroic activating front. Like, we have the heroic guys, but where's the triggers for it? All we've got is Aqueous Form and Flitterstep Eidolon, which is not that much stuff. So I think since we've got the creature count, we're really going to focus on our heroic activations for Pack 3, if possible. Well, we opened Nykthos, but Nykthos actually is not worth that much, believe it or not. I've got Hopeful Eidolon, which could be the pick, as well as God's Willing, which also could be the pick. Both of these cards are phenomenal for us. Hopeful Eidolon has the advantage on our evasive guys of not only triggering Heroic, but giving us a lifelink, which can be so swingy. God's Willing, though, protects you from removal. It's a tough pick. I really think God's Willing is a better card, but Hopeful Eidolon is also really good. Tough pick here. Certainly either God's Willing or Hopeful Eidolon. They both essentially do what I want in the deck, which is activate Heroic. This one has the bonus of gaining me life, which is good for dramatic swings. God's Willing protects me from removal. That is tough. I'm not even sure I can really decide. Guess we'll go with the God's Willing. That's a tough one. I think we're actually more likely to wheel the other one. Well, here's good news. Celestial Archon. So that card is really sick, and we're happily taking it. Even gives us something to protect with our God's Willing. Alright. More good news for us. We get a Battle-Wise Valor. So just what this deck was needing, and we're getting it. So good. Very light blue. Prefer to not even play the Bounty. Prefer to not even play the Dream Finder, but we'll see if I have to or not. Okay, well, good picks here. Battle-Wise Hoplite. Pretty happily want to take that. We also have Nimbus Naiad, though, who is sick. Alright, so here's the thing. We're 100% not going to wheel Nimbus Naiad. 100%. No possible way are we going to wheel Nimbus Naiad. What are our chances of wheeling Battle-Wise Hoplite? Actually better than wheeling the Nimbus Naiad. Griptide is also sick, by the way. But I still want more stuff to trigger my Heroic. I mean, this guy is so good for our deck. So is Nimbus Naiad. I think I'm going to take the Naiad and cross my fingers we wheel the Hoplite. If we don't wheel the Hoplite, there is a small chance we get the Band Elder as well. But I'm really going to hope we get that Battle-Wise Hoplite. Alright, well, Sea God's Revenge does seem like a card that just says I win the game in this deck, so I guess we can take that. Oh my god, yet another Snarecaster. Alright, can't argue with that. Oh my god, Snarecaster for days. Do we just play as many Snarecasters as you possibly can? I think so, right? Chosen by Heliod's good too, but it's no Snarecaster. Let's cut this. Let's cut the Triton. Let's take the Snarecaster. That is a lot of Snarecasters. I don't think we want the Priest. He's underwhelming. What else is good in this deck, though? Everything we have so far is, in fact, good. I'm willing to cut Revoke Existence if it push comes to shove on that one. Alright, we get the Chosen by Heliod. Taking it. Currently playing it. It's definitely a card this deck wants and needs. Hell, we wheel Nykthos? I could probably find a standard deck that wants that. Is that even that bad in here? With the sheer amount of white permanents I have, I feel like I could actually ramp with this, but the thing is, there's not a lot I want to ramp into. I guess Archon, but the Bestow, that is. Alright, Chronicler is actually annoying against us, much more annoying than the Agent of Horizons is, so we'll take that. I guess we'll... I do feel like this is okay, but we already have quite a few evasive guys, so none of these cards matter then. Alright, let's just take the Sandals. Flamecast Wheel, I like having one of them. Sideboard purposes. Warden's playable. Looks like we did... It's the next... No, I think we missed the Battle-Wise Hoplite, unfortunately. So, that kind of sucks, but we did get the Nimbus Naiad. And Lost in Labyrinth can, in fact, hit heroic guys as well. So I actually have the problem that I never tend to have, which is I have more heroic guys than I can even take advantage of with the spells that I have access to. So Very unusual that that happens, but it did happen. Alright. Let us put in all the stuff we want to play. Yes, not used to having this many heroic guys at all. Okay, let's see what else we got. The blue, yes. This thing, that guy. This, that, and the other thing. Alright. And aqueous form. Okay. So, let's separate spells. If I can. Look at those 2 drops. It's beautiful. It's a 16 land deck. With that many 2 drops, it's certainly a 16 land deck. So let's play one more spell, and what is that spell going to be? I could do Lost in a Labyrinth. I know it seems awkward, but here's the thing. It's super dual purpose in our deck. Not only is it a combat trick, where it's going to come into play the most, but it's also an end of their turn, cast it on my heroic guy, possibly get value. Scry. Possibly boost my guy and scry. Maybe that's not worth it. I mean, it's certainly worth it with this guy, but is it worth it with anything else? Not really. It's kind of worth it with Wavecrash Triton too, I guess, to a certain extent. Could be worth it with Skirmisher, although that seems a bit awkward. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it only boosts these guys by 1. Maybe it's not worth it with them. I do like the combat trick implications of it. Alright, I talked myself into it. I do want to keep my curve relatively low, and considering we really are one of the most uninteractive decks I've ever played, if you look, our removal is Lost in a Labyrinth, Battle-Wise Valor trick, God's Willing trick maybe, Skirmisher's kind of a trick. I have to count how much targeted stuff I even have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if I bestow, 7, 8. I guess that's actually not that bad. Okay, so 16 lands. We're probably just going to do 10-6. We actually need double white early, whereas we only need 1 blue. They're saying 11-5, but I'm cooler with 10-6. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this deck. It's right in line with what I like to do in this format. Could have used a few more buff spells, but I'm very pleasantly surprised with all the tempo stuff we have, so that's cool. Got all the tempo that you could ever ask for. I mean, I could consider playing Dreamfinder in here because he can return, I don't know, what can he return? He can return Chosen, he can return Archon, Naiad, Flitterstep. He returns good stuff, no doubt. But he is a 1/4 flyer for 5. It's just really not what my deck wants to be doing. Whereas a 4/4 flying first strike for 5, much more in line. Or 6-drop bounce 3 of your dudes. That also seems like something this deck could win with. Alright. Yeah, I like this deck a lot. It's actually hard for me to evaluate how powerful it is. It's probably like a 7, maybe? 7 out of 10? 7.5, something like that. I actually think I like it more than my original red-white heroic deck, because I feel like there's more potential upside to this deck, but we'll see. So I'll see you round 1.